Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we are diving into a really powerful idea. What if art is more than just pretty pictures or catchy songs? What if it's actually a path for spiritual growth, and maybe, just maybe, a blueprint for building a better world? Let's get into it. It sounds a little poetic, doesn't it? But this is the serious question at the very heart of what we're talking about today. I mean, what if music, or any art form, could literally be a bridge between our world and something much, much higher? All right, so our journey starts with a pretty fundamental shift in how we think. What if your creative work, your craft, was more than just a job or a hobby? What if you could elevate it to a sacred act, an act of worship? Now listen closely to that phrase, takes pains. This isn't about some effortless stroke of genius. The core idea here, coming from the Baha'i writings, is that the hard work, the focused effort, the struggle and the striving, that's the very thing that turns your work into worship. And this is for everybody, not just the famous artists. It covers all kinds of craftsmanship: the weaver at the loom, the coder at their computer, the carpenter shaping a piece of wood. Each one is tapping into something divine, a gift of the Holy Spirit. So here's the secret sauce. It's all about your intention. When you pour yourself into your craft with honesty and you really want to add something valuable to the world, well, that work basically becomes a prayer. It's a super practical way to make something spiritual, something you can actually touch and feel in your daily life. Okay, so if our work can be a form of worship, what are we aiming for? What's the goal? Well, it's not just about being good. The idea here is to reach for a kind of perfection that reflects a celestial or heavenly ideal. This quote just nails it, doesn't it? It's a challenge to the artist. It's saying, listen for a higher music, a divine harmony, and then do your best to bring that down to earth. It's about becoming a channel for something truly transcendent. And this comparison really gets to the core of it. You see, ordinary craft might just be imitation, something you leave unfinished. But when you aim for that celestial standard, your work gets transformed. It gets blended with that of the kingdom. And the result? Art that does more than just entertain. It totally captivates people's hearts and makes their spirits soar. There's this amazing metaphor for this process. Picture an artist, and they're just working with simple raw materials, like paper. But through all that dedication, all that striving for this divine standard, that humble paper is transformed into something like polished glass. It becomes clear, pure, translucent, something that can reflect a higher light. It's a symbol of achieving real spiritual clarity. Which brings us right to the central idea, the main metaphor of our whole explainer. While all the arts can do this, music gets a special shout-out in these teachings. It's seen as this incredibly direct link, a bridge between our material world and the spiritual one. I mean, there it is, stated so clearly by Bahá'u'lláh. Music isn't just music. It's designed to be a ladder. Every single note, when you craft it with skill and a pure heart, becomes another rung, helping our souls climb higher. And that's the whole purpose of the ladder, right? To lift us up, to elevate our minds and hearts above the day-to-day stress and worry, and bring us a little closer to what's described as the realm on high. It's seen as spiritual food for the soul. But, and this is a big but, this powerful tool comes with a really important warning label. The goal is spiritual ascent, not just, self-indulgence. There's a caution against using music as wings to self and passion. Its sacred purpose is only unlocked when it's approached with dignity and moderation. So, we've talked about how art can transform a person. But what happens when you zoom out? What happens when this kind of creation starts to spread through an entire society? Well, it becomes this incredibly powerful force for civilization. And this is why it's so potent. Look, cold, hard logic and rational arguments, they can only take us so far. But art, whether it's a play, a painting, or a song, it speaks directly to our hearts. It has this unique ability to awaken noble feelings and inspire change in a way that almost nothing else can. To really get this, think of the metaphor of a lamp. A material civilization, that's the outer structure. It's the laws, the economy, the technology. It can look really impressive, like a beautifully decorated lamp glass. But if there's no light inside, it's just an empty shell. Divine civilization, then, is the light inside that lamp. It's the spirit, the values, the life force. And art, when it's pursued with this higher purpose, helps to kindle that light. It keeps our civilization from becoming what the writings call a dead body. And this all leads us to the final grand vision. What if the very same principles that an artist uses to create a masterpiece are the exact same principles we need to build a just and unified world? Seriously, think about it. A poem is a symmetrical collection of words. Music needs harmonious sounds. Well, guess what a peaceful, functional society needs? Those exact same things: symmetry, harmony, and a constant drive for perfection. The creative process itself becomes a blueprint for a better world. And this brings us to another incredible metaphor. Remember that ladder we were building, all that hard work, the pains the artist takes? Well, once you've climbed it, something amazing happens. Knowledge and art become the wings of your life. The ladder gets you there, but the wings are what let you soar. And this is the ultimate goal. The artist, lifted up by their craft, can then help build a world that is built anew. The real value of an artist isn't just in what they create for themselves, but in how they contribute to this massive, collective masterpiece of global unity. And so, we end by turning this question back to all of us. No matter what we do for a living, this whole perspective invites us to ask ourselves, how can the work I do every single day, the care I put into it, the intention behind it, how can that become more than just a job? How can it become my own ladder for the soul?